Okay, we're set up, which is nice. Let's put it to start streaming. Okay, we're in. Um, let's. Okay, so where did we leave off? Left off. We created our load from JSON, our load from scratch, and we say rewrite state file. Um, so what is the next step? Next step is yeah, what is the next step? Um, Starting and stopping plugins. So we will have two methods: stop plugin, plugin manager get plugin, plugin ID. I think it's returning null when it doesn't have one. It's a map. So the hash map returns null. Um, Now we say if plugin wrapper yeah, okay. We will need to throw an error. For now, let's just return. So it doesn't have a getter for the state, which really sucks. It's a bit weird. Can we start it again? Hmm. Wait. Uh, we need to do this one. Okay. So what does this do? It checks the plugin ID and it throws an error, which is okay. So we don't need this anymore. And what does it do extra? It gets the plugin state started. Okay, it will just log at the bug statement, log a warning. So it will enable, but it doesn't matter. It will start its dependencies, which is cool. It's a bit different than OSGI. Then it will call the start and then set plugin state is started, and on start plugins plugin wrapper, fire plugin state event. Okay, that's something internal, and then get plugin state, which is fine. So we just do this. And then here say plugin mer dot, and then we need to restart our application. And it's the same with this one. How will we manage this? It's not. Let's see. Uh, yeah. Um. Yeah, it's not easy. We maybe should have a message. So basically, what I'm thinking of is how do we let the ZCMS plugin loader instruct that we need to restart our Spring application? Can you score common? Um, can basically create this. Let's it's almost a thread concurrent callable. I think I can just use function, no? Pum. We want a consumer, that's what I want. Consumer. And it accepts something. The only thing is that we need to then we say restart consumer dot accept, and then we say down in plugin config we say add bean, public CMS plugin loader. Auto-wired public plugin config. Application context. Bean factory thingy. This one. And then we map it. Now you do application context dot bean factory, and then you say and then we have our nice bean and our restart application thingy that we can develop. And then in our publish we as well need to wire that bean on a config class. And I hope it will work. I hope it will. So how do we do a restart? Now we need to go as well to our main class. So in here we need to say private static string private static configurable application context. So application context is this one. Now we say we need to remove these. Okay. Now we have a public static void restart. There we say application context close and application context equals spring application dot run. And that will restart everything up. Okay. So in our plugin config, what do we need to do here is we need to say we need a new thread. Equals new thread, which is basically a runnable, So here we say we try, we catch an error. SLF4J log error e get message e system.exit 9. And then we do our current thread, we let it sleep for 1 second. And then we say ZCMS application restart. And after that we say reset thread set daemon false. and we start the thread, which will restart our application. So basically, we use this consumer to restart it. Maybe we should echo out log.info. The reason we should do it above. Okay. So this takes care of our restart, but we still need to do some stuff here. So so if you load it from JSON, you can see that we fetches our plugin state, and every plugin that is started, we register it, and the register beans for plugin needs a plugin wrapper. So basically, this will throw an exception when the plugin could not start, but it will be. Huh. Okay. We will get our plugin. Okay, so we do this. Now we say here if plugin wrapper dot get plugin state equals plugin state started log dot info plugin already started. We return, okay, and then we go further on. So then we have our state. If it's equal, I guess. So if the state equals plugin state started, then we will as well restart and register beans for plugin, and we have the plugin wrapper. And this one will go through to this one. Okay. And I'm lying, we don't need to do it. Dang it. Okay, yeah, doesn't really matter. Um, it's true, we don't need to register the beans because Spring will not pick them up. So this is useless. But we need to do states. Uh, so, and then we say if present, we will say yeah, well, we will see. Shit. Um, and then we do restart. All this stuff we need as well. Stopped. Okay. Yeah. I guess it's time to test, no? Ah, we still need to throw exceptions. Yeah, we need these. And I have a good example of it with repository exception. I'll basically do this. And then we will start renaming. Plugin not found. And plugin not found. It's the only one we need. And then here plugin exception. I will put it like this because we already have plugin exceptions. And then plugin error, which is correct. And then we say throw new CMS plugin exception, plugin error, which will handle this real well. Okay. This means we have our plugin loader ready. Huh. Okay, we didn't really need it. We keep it as a variable for later on. So let's commit this. Commit and push so you guys can see it as well. By the way, if you have questions, you can just ask them in the chat. I will try to answer them as good as I can. Okay. So now what we need to do is so our CCMS outer application is a REST API. We need to integrate this inside a controller to get all the plugins, stop the plugins, and install all the plugins. So let's see how easy this is. Probably not. So we go to our controller. As you can see, we do not have many controllers yet. and we say okay, plugin controller. And request mapping plugins. And we will build a nice UI around it as well in Angular. So we have a get mapping, and this will just public. For now, we'll just return string. We'll create objects. Public response entity get plugins. And we'll just return a list. We are just creating placeholder stuff is now. In here we say posts mapping. So we will say that path variable string plugin ID, and this will basically start the plugin. And we as well have a stop. Stop plugin. And we will have a post which we will need to do here without the path variable. We can just say install, which will accept the jar and yeah, installs the plugin inside. We didn't even write it yet inside the plugin loader. I just don't know. So we will need a public plugin controller. The plugin loader. CMS plugin loader. Okay. Let's create a field for it. So so Z Programming asked if I use some Java-based CMS. So basically, I am a Java-based CMS developer. I use Adobe Experience Manager. It's built on GCR, OSGI, and as well I used Hippo CMS. But now it's taken over by Bloomreach, and it's called Bloomreach CMS, I think. I will send you the links. So Adobe Experience Manager. So this is for my day job, and then I as well know the Hippo CMS, which is this URL. And you as well have library. Yeah, so Bloomreach bought Hippo, and Hippo is the open source version still, and Bloomreach has some extra capabilities. And of course, you have another good one is library. It's as well some DXP stuff. So those are 3 big ones. There are more. There are way more. Tum tum tum. Alfresco, of course. Yeah, Alfresco. So that's some of that I know of. There could be more smaller ones or bigger ones even, but I don't know them. Okay, so where were we? Okay, so in here we basically say plugin loader.start plugin with plugin ID, which can throw an exception, but we will catch it in this one. Which will hmm. It's here. We catch them, and it's bad requests, and we can catch them on the front end part. And the same for stop plugin. And we can return void, so no. Responsibility no, and no content. Okay, just maybe just do this. Okay, so that will work. Plugin loader dot get plugin manager. Mm. Is the getter dot get plugins. Uh, Yeah, so for that one, that programming, I would look at Hippo or Liferay because Adobe Experience Manager is really expensive and it's for big enterprise applications. But every CMS you can make look good if you know how to work with it, basically. Yeah. Um, I think what I did here will not work. Well, maybe it will. We'll see. Okay, so we return a list of ZCMS plugin states, which is good enough for our JSON, and then we say okay, and that implements that one, and we will leave the install for what it is now. So to test this out, we need to create a plugin and start and stop it. And I will as well make some improvements in our plugin loader. Load from JSON. And if, okay, we already did it. I think it will work. I'm a bit scared. Of course, we need to secure this because not everyone can do it, and we have those secured stuffies, and we want it to be secured with role admin. So only admin can start and stop plugins and install them and get them, because it's something for admin. That's the easy explanation. So let's as well start on the front end. It's a little bit more visible, which is maybe more interesting to see. Let's restart our backend application and our front-end application. So it says here no plugins, which is correct because our plugin directory is empty. Let's reload all the stubs so we have a new instance running, and this one is as well started. So we have our application here. Okay, so we will maybe on the dashboard have a small piece with plugins, and then we have, I want plugin management here below under tools or some sort. So let's start doing that. So we will need to create new routes. We will need to fix our navigation, so our left sidebar, it renders the nav items so we will add a new title and comment this, and we say here, yeah, we still need to do the translations on this. I will add it to do on top. But I still want to work this away. It's something from the core UI library, how they did it, and I'm a bit stuck with it, but I don't want to. This needs to be tools, and under that we need to have plugins, and then we look at core UI for a nice icon. Let's see. Icon puzzle, which is nice. So this will already show something more, I guess. So we have, yeah, our tools plugins. So that's that. Let's create a new Angular scheme. A module. I really don't like that it generates like this. Let me quickly. So basically we only have shared module. we need to fix the code styles. Okay. And then, of course, in our app module, we need to add tools module. Okay. What do we then need to do? We need to create a new component, of course. Component plugins. Okay, it's almost generated correctly. We can start adding it. Plugins, plugin components. Yeah, we will do it later on. We need to add router type, so we have plugin. And that's basically it. Get breadcrumb config. Oh. Okay, so we need to add it to our translation. And now we should be all set up. I just noticed something. My breadcrumb component doesn't work. Oops. It's okay for now. So we have our plugins. So what do we need to do on this page? We need to list it, and we need to give it actions, start, stop, and we need an install plugin. So with this. So now we see we have this button here. I will rename it. And of course we need to say and then in here copy paste this one. Dot plugins add. I will fix that. Yeah. Um, it will basically look pretty much the same as this. So let me, without pagination, we just will load in all the plugins. So we'll copy paste it. It's in tools, plugins. Plugins action. ngdiff plugins. ID state. Then we have actions. Just for now say let's just comment it out for the moment, and we don't need this diff. And I have one too many. Yep. We will basically as well do the same. F as well as this. Collection, it will be plugins, which will be an array of plugin. For now it will be empty. We don't need the current page. Extend base component. We will need to create a service as well. So we will go to shared service, new Angular schematic, service, plugin, and then we have private HTTP client, HTTP client. We don't need an HTTP client, dummy. We need our REST service, out service, that's it. So we have a public, we will need to write a model. We will see it like an entity, I guess. I will see it as an entity. Just duplicate and then we plug in. We have ID and state. Public get plugins. Doesn't have any parameters. It's an observable of plugin array. So we say return this dot rest service dot get slash plugins. We will say this out service get token pipe map. Then we say const item of items. We'll have a const plugins plugin array. We'll return that one. I think the red one will go away. And then we say plugins dot push mapping util dot map item to plugin item. And then we say plugins, of course. After that we say catch something wrong, plugin error, and the return value is an empty array. So we still need to develop that one. So we copy paste this one. Remove these and this state. This is as well a wrong plugin. Okay, makes sense now. Private plugin service. Yes. Now we say this dot plugin service dot get plugins. We have a pipe. This take until this dot ng unsubscribe. We don't want memory leaks, and then we say subscribe plugins. Nope. Okay, this maps everything to what we need. So for our plugin list, if we now go and check it, it will only be an empty table, which is correct. But it should have done the. Oh, okay, here we are. So if you go to network, we refresh the page, we should see a plugins call. For some reason, my VMware is getting slow. Or did I break something? Okay, it's broken. Okay, so you can see that we did the plugins call, and we just got an empty list, which is okay, which is what we wanted. Um, let's yeah. So we have our plugin API here, and we will need to include this inside a new project, but it will not find, well, it probably will find it because it's on my local. So we create a new Maven project. Next. My site. Let's say user plugin. Now then you as well can see how to test this and see how we develop a plugin for the framework, because it's pretty interesting and it's still not completely worked out. So I will create a new folder here, ZCMS plugins to test. Okay, and then under that we will create user dash plugin. Okay, finish. New window. So enable out. So the first thing we will do is define some plugins and properties. Let's first do the properties. And I will do some copy paste, but I will explain it. So we have some properties. Basically, we have plugin ID, plugin class, which we'll need to change soon, but we will already set it up. The plugin version, the provider, and the Spring version. Yeah, that's not needed, I think, because this one as well has Spring, but it has an older version. If you go to here, we can see that it uses. I'm not seeing it here. Spring version 4. but I want 5. So in our ZCMS thingy, in our plugin API, we can basically override this. So what we will say in here is as well properties. We will add this, and we will add new dependencies, but we will add them as provided. So else it will blow up. Yeah, it's weird. It's something with PF4J. I hope they will fix it soon. So we updated our POM, so we need to clean install this one, so we have it on our local. And we have build failure. Great. Invalid target release 1.11, which makes sense because now it's just release 11. Okay, let's see now if I can. It basically said here it's installing it to my local M2 repository, so I will be able to access it. So I can, yeah, of course we need our compiler plugin. It's our default plugin. We need to everywhere. Boosh. And we will include this one. So this is a dependency. We don't need Spring version anymore. So dependencies and dependency added as well, and it will be resolved. As you can see, it's on my library, and it will as well have the others, I hope. Probably not. But we'll see. After that, we need another plugin here, because the PF4J works with the manifest of our jar. We need to put extra manifest entries in there. And yeah, that's what this plugin does. And that's it. We added this one 2 times, which is unnecessary. Okay, let's reinstall. So to write our plugin, we will need to create a plugin class. So we set be.zwaldeck my site dot user plugin. I will just create user and then user plugin. Extends ZCMS plugin, and it just download sources. See, okay, it doesn't work because it's just for me to have something different, so I can extend it more easily and not be we need to create a constructor. Which is correct. I made a mistake. Well, no. So basically we need to do this one as well in our user plugin, else it will not work, which is a little bit stupid, but that's okay. So now we can import this one. Yeah. Okay. And we need to implement a method for our application context, but we will as well override some. So we can do as out I need to stop. So we need to create an app context. Now new annotation config application. We say application context set class loader get wrapper dot get plugin class loader app context dot register, and then our configuration class app context dot refresh, and we return our app context. So this will bootstrap our plugin, but not Spring. So, and I want this plugin to have one small controller. So we will start with we will create a new Java class user plugin configuration, which is a configuration of the Spring framework, and we will say we have a component scan with the base packages of be zwaldeck.mysite.user. Okay, and then here we can say user plugin configuration.class. So basically this one will register this one will component scan. So now we can basically say in the package controller we create a user controller at rest, just controller basically. It's for now good enough. Of course, a request mapping. And we do not have the correct dependencies. So we have web. I don't think we need it in the API. No, we don't need this one. Yeah, it's even for me. I'll trial and error and see where everything is going wrong and what is going where. But it is important basically we don't need it here, but we need it in our other one. I'm getting a bit of projects mixed up, so okay, let's put it in the properties. Then this is happy. Then we can have request as well as REST controller. So we have a request mapping of user dash plugin, and then we will basically have a get mapping which just hello public string greet return hello from our user plugin, and we will as well show the date. So now dot format ISO date time, good enough. It's just to test. So how pf4j works is it works with extension. So if you want this class to become available at your host app, you need to add extension, but we need to implement extension point as well. We need to do those two things. It's something from pf4j and we are bound to that framework. So then of course we need to reference our plugin. So we have user plugin, which is correct. We have that version. So basically our plugin is done. So now we can build it. So let's clean install it, which will create here the target. Okay, and we can use this plugin to register it. Oh, I forgot. I want to name it user plugin, of course. Let's rebuild. And then we need to put it in our plugins dir here. So we will go showing files, and we put it in here. And this now our application will hopefully load it in and start it, because we do not have anything started. So let's go to our outdoor backend and restart, and let's see if we broke anything or it just starts. So we broke some stuff. So error creating bean plugin controller. Okay. Plugin loader failed because we cannot find this one. I have this. Let's go to our core, which doesn't inject it. normally now it should work. Let's see. So it did work what we wrote. So basically, if we now look at the logs a bit, so here it says plugin. It found the plugin user plugin on the lane. It's resolved. So it starts the plugin, and we have start called here. We do not see our own implementation logs apparently, but it is started. So if we open Postman, it's stuck again. I don't know. I need to check my virtual machine. So when the screen comes over, you will see it's authentication object was not found. Yeah, which is correct because we secured by default everything. Eventually, we will need to write some system that we can use at secured and stuff as well. I think we can already. But then even we need a public token. But that's for next stream. So yeah, I will now pause. Maybe stream again tomorrow. I don't think I have still time left today. Um, so yeah, thanks for watching. If you liked it, be sure to follow or subscribe depending on what platform you're watching. And I will build further on. We did a lot today already, and we will keep on improving it.